Y'all ever played a game called Dirge of Cerberus?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked.
How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good about it. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it takes a lot to tear me away from Elden Ring, and if not for this podcast, Dirge of Cerberus would surely not be tearing me away from Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, is that in the FF7 larger canon? Is that like
yeah, so it's
like
you get to play as Yuffie
thing?
in it. It's still on the same engine as Final Fantasy.
Oh, and the ring
remake.
is like her weapon that she.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right. That makes sense.
But yeah, no, I'm still enjoying Dirge of Cerberus, even though every moment spent in it, I'm just like, damn, this is a moment I could be getting annihilated by something in Elden Ring.
Good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it as well. I think after this episode, things get real dense and we don't have to deal with these WRO fucks anymore.
That's good.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to deal with the WRO fucks in this episode either, so
you started your own daycare.
So I'll give a little preview of this episode before we get to the end of it. So there's two different chapter end kind of screens where we get ranked in this episode. And both of them have special missions to protect the WRO soldiers. How did I do? We'll find out when we get there, but it's going to be a treat.
There's a secret one as well that you can unlock, a secret mission, where it's how good you are at protecting the world from devastation and also uniting all peoples within our nation.
Within your nation. It's very nice.
Team Rocket never really did much to do with what their theme was about, was it?
Oh no, it doesn't really make a whole lot of
yeah, I think they just like rhymes.
Like denouncing the evils of truth and love, I guess, because they love to lie and not be in love with one another, even though they should be.
Eat hot chip and lie.
But they do that through uniting all people, so like, who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if the ideology of Team Rocket from the Indigo League Pokemon anime is
well, Team Rocket
sound.
did change their they changed their little intro like a couple seasons in.
Oh, did they?
Where they would appear and then they would go, "This is the Every FNFF podcast. My name's Curtis."
My name's Carl, and I was immediately thinking of the Team Rocket members Butch and Cassidy, who had a slightly different motto, and I was like, is Curtis talking about that?
Team Rocket's rockin'. I'm Alex.
I wish Alex. Yeah,
I was getting ready to announce and be like, "That's Alex."
I was going to say, Alex, that's right. We're daycare dittos. We're talking about how many Pokemon can have sex this episode, and it's none of them because
I was going to say it's all.
It's
of
a
them.
good Catholic game, even though the Catholic Church has banned it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to edge along with my boy Vincent. Let's go.
Hell yeah! Are we? Yeah, are we? No, we're not in Edge. We are in Midgar proper.
That's right. This is deep Midgar, not edge of Midgar.
Yeah, this is we're in a familiar
the Chewy Center.
We're in a familiar area that we all know and love.
We are in a familiar area, as a matter of fact.
Can't get enough of this area.
Yeah. They reused assets. Really, really fucked up Square.
We're in the area that I've given up playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake twice. Each time I reach this point, and then I go, I did Wall Market already. I don't know, like, nothing the rest of this game.
For me.
Yeah.
There's nothing left here for me. I think this is also where friend and future enemy of the show, Corey, stopped his playthrough of Final Fantasy VII, where he was texting me and he's like, dude, does it get better after the train graveyard? And I was like, define what you mean by better. He's like, I fucking hate it so much. And I was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't continue that.
I thought it was pretty good up until Wall Market, and then I was like, Wall Market's the best thing I will ever experience in a video game. This is fantastic. And I didn't even have to fight anybody, except for the house, I guess. But
the Hell House.
And then like after that I was like, well, nothing will ever top that.
I wish there was Hell House in this game. They should have put Hell House in this game.
They should have. They should put anyone besides Deep Crown in this area, because there should be guard hounds and ghosts and sweepers and mono drives.
Yeah, where's Dolahan?
And like they had sweepers in like the first areas of the game, I'm pretty sure. Like very they were small.
Are there not a couple sweepers in this area?
There's a couple sweepers in this.
There's a couple
sweepers.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm ready to get swept.
Sweepers, or are they, what's it called? The Black Widows.
I think they're sweepers. Both. Yeah, and there's Black Widows too. That's
clearly
true.
My memory is as good as always, dear listener.
You know what I'm gonna do? Actually, I'm gonna do this live on podcast. I'm gonna go to Twitch and I'm just gonna like scroll through my playthrough that I did while we do the episode.
That is really, really lazy, Curtis. That is not any way anyone should be podcasting. That is definitely not the way that I've been doing it this entire season with my own.
Well,
but yeah, so we as we remember from last week, we were doing cool stunts. We were too busy trying to nail the 900 Tony Hawk style, and we are a little off from where we're several clicks off from where we're supposed to be in Midgar, and we land in the train graveyard.
Exactly one chapter off. The first thing we get prompted to do is protect the WRO members while 2 immediately... This happens a lot where they'll say, save the WRO members while 2 immediately die in front of you before the screen even disappears.
2 issues with saving these WRO members. One is that I was like, okay, just hang here for a second while I see if there's any items or like Mako on the ground that I can get, because I need those completion points. And they're just like, yo, what if we ran over here and got killed immediately? That would be sick. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready.
They're like fucking lemmings running off a goddamn cliff. It's just like I need you guys to just like relax and be cool for a couple seconds. I'll take care of everything. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna just sprint as fast as I can directly into these bullets being fired at us from the enemy.
Yeah, and
I know Sid had that really cool, like, just that empowering speech about staying alive and that how everyone behind us needs to survive too, and if we die, they die. I'm gonna run directly into a bunch of bullets, just hella bullets.
These folks don't know how to use cover at all. They always just like run right into the open before they start shooting.
Yeah,
it's great. But the enemies that they get shot by are all, of course, crowded around an explosive barrel. So
classic.
At least there's that.
Yeah.
There are a couple instances in this episode of scripted, or I guess in this episode and other parts of the game, of WRO members that are scripted to be killed, that if you are able to kill the enemies that are theoretically killing them, they just yeet themselves to the ground and die. So,
oh damn, I was wondering about that, because this also threw me for a loop, because it's literally the first 2 that you see running forward die immediately, and they don't really take that much damage. Like, I think they only take like 21 hits of damage, or maybe it's like a random number. Like, it's just 1 hit that it takes to kill them, so they are scripted to die.
Yeah,
scripted to die. I start a band called that.
Hell yeah, it's a programmer band. It's not like a play script. It's
That's
like
right.
Cool piece of code.
There are no cool pieces of code.
It's true. So all computers, everything involving computers are just for dorks.
Technology was a mistake, with the exception of the PlayStation 2 and the Dirge of Cerberus PS2 game.
Exactly.
One thing I like is that usually after you kill like a swarm of deep ground folks, like immediately like 10 feet behind them is like more WRO people who are just like ahead of you.
Yeah.
Who offer no help.
Yep.
Yeah, after we pass like the first wave or 2, we come up with a little we catch up with the main WRO folks, and they're like as confused as us, like, we missed our landing point.
This looks like the old Sector 7 slums, the train graveyard.
Yes, it does.
He's like, yes, we included this area for the real Final Fantasy heads who will appreciate this.
And then what they say, sir, I've received a radio transmission reporting the remaining air squads have reached the upper level plates and have joined the ground forces. Fine, says Vincent.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vincent starts to walk away, and then they ask to kind of tag along with us, and he just says, yeah, whatever.
So this is kind of neat. Like, you actually do get like a giant posse of WRO members who follow you around and shoot at the enemy during this, which is kind of tight. And for a while,
they're not super helpful.
They're not super helpful. And for a while, I did keep them alive for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really like an escort mission, but they're pretty helpless. Like, it's more so just you making sure that they don't get killed. They're not really giving any cover, despite the fact that they all have guns. And you usually outnumber the amount of deep ground soldiers, but it's pretty much still just you versus them with more of a target on your back, like functionally in the game.
I will say, I do think it does, whether intentionally or unintentionally, it does a good job for me of being like, oh, fucking deep ground, they're a bunch of motherfuckers. They're like some hard ass dudes. Because they are just killing off WRO members like crazy fast.
Yeah.
Because I assume that like WRO members are trained and have weapons, but they get mowed down ridiculously. You know what I mean? So it does make deep ground feel like they're very strong.
I think as well, the difficulty kind of spiked up here a little bit. I noticed that I was taking a lot more damage and dying a lot more in this section than actually having to keep my eye on my health, because this was kind of rough. And a lot of these enemies kind of become damage sponges. Even just like normal everyday one is kind of, I think we were talking about it before, where like the game has already tutorialized you enough to be like, oh, you know how all the systems work now. So now, you know, the gloves are off and you just have to exist in this world where you know all of your functions and you have to be able to use them all.
And I should say that like they hype that feeling up. They strengthen it in the train graveyard with making it a very intense location. Like you can hear shelling going on in the background. You can hear gunfire going on like over walls where you can't see. So it does feel like shit is popping off, and like
you do still see like air fire happening like above the plates too, which is a really cool detail.
Yeah,
and it's also becoming nighttime where the last cutscene we were at, I guess, what is it, dusk or whatever, where like the sky's like orange.
Golden hour.
And now it's like slowly becoming more dark, and it becomes a little more dark as we go through the stage too. So I feel like
so dark.
It's a nice. It's cool. It makes it feel very intense and feel very heavy. And so that feeling of being like, okay, the tutorial's over, this is real now. Like it just enhances that feel to it. So I like it. I like this area pretty well.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's labyrinthian. You have to crawl through some of the trains, and some of the trains are like in warehouses, and some of them are not. It's interesting.
There's a lot of sniper fire I've noticed also through this area that we haven't really had in a while. Like where you just enter an open like train yard area, and all of a sudden there's just like either snipers from like crow's nests or watchtowers, or
just on top of trains,
or turrets even. Like there's just like fucking sometimes really far away too.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and they wouldn't necessarily be too big of a deal, but obviously you have a bunch of homies with you that you need to protect, so like you can easily avoid kind of getting shot by snipers and not really have to worry about them. But if you want to have all of them saved by the end of the level, you need to be more aware of like your surroundings and actually be looking out for that.
Speaking of which, there is before we enter our first little warehouse area in our first series of hallways, there's another WRO member who we stumble upon who is cowering behind some crates.
I was just taking a breather.
Like he's freaking out and everything, and Vincent sees him and is just kind of like, okay, I guess this guy's fine now. And he asked to come along, like tag along with us. And Vincent's like, all right, just don't get in my way. And I was like, that guy's going to die immediately. He's fucked. And wouldn't you know it, he's the only one who lived through it for me. But
hell yeah.
So we go to the next area. Like as soon as we enter a little warehouse, a little hallway, we come out into another train graveyard clearing. And one of the WRO members starts giving us like a little story as she's like peering around the corner with her assault rifle, right?
Right.
You know, I was born in Midgar. My brother and I used to play here all the time. My mom didn't approve, though. After she died, my brother joined a Shinra resistance group, but was killed when the plate fell, and I can't believe this place is still here.
And then a battle starts, right? Like fire starts, you start having to like shoot enemies and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I did this on stream, and I was like, oh, okay, I gotta fight all these guys, I gotta fire across the place. Like you said, there's like sniper fire, so I'm like sitting there picking out sniper fire, and Alex is watching me stream, and he was like, Curtis behind you, and everybody's like, Curtis, you need to turn around. And so I turned around, all of the WRO members are dead. Just fucking all of them have been smeared, because I didn't realize there were dudes behind me just fucking taking them out. And I was like, well, on my own again.
I think at this point when I was playing through it, at some point after this, I got a game over because I wasn't paying attention to my health, and then I went back, so I was able to take those guys out before they slaughtered everyone. But I also had no idea that they were behind me on my first run through.
Yeah,
cheap.
Good shit.
Just starts playing. You turn around and you just see all the WRO members dead, and it just starts playing Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap.
Ooh, what you say, indeed.
But I know another cool thing about this too is that this might be the case. It felt like this was the case for me, so I don't know if it was for y'all. When you shoot all these enemies at several points in this stage, the card key does not drop for the next area. And you have to like go up to the gate and try to use it or figure out what's going on, and then turn around and then the enemy spawns? Is that how it works? Did that happen for everybody else?
There was the heavy armed soldier was in that area you were just talking about. You're like, okay, there's a gate here, and as soon as you turn around, like you get ambushed.
Okay, so it was you too. So he's not there already.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I do remember running around at one point and being like, I don't think I have the card key, and then trying to use it, and I did pick up the card key at some point. But...
Oh, interesting.
Oh, speed strat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious what the trigger is for that last enemy.
It's funny too, because I remember saying very clearly on stream after that last WRO member gives us that story about her like playing in the train graveyard when she was younger. I was like, I feel a connection to this character. I must not let them die. And then they immediately just got fucking like plastered. And I was like, well, that's it.
Yeah, that's one good thing about these chapters, too. I mean, again, like, at the end of the day, if you're just trying to beat the game, you shouldn't really give a shit about the nameless, soldiers that you're fighting alongside and if they die or whatever. But this game is really good at making you actually, like, want to make sure that you're protecting them. Like, after the past couple of chapters, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care about the completion at all. But then with Sid's speech, and then with that conversation where I was like, who's her brother? Was her brother an Avalanche? Oh my god, was her brother like Biggs or Wedge or someone?
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah.
Couldn't be, because of course they're still alive in Remake when the plate fell.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, did you not know that?
No, I did not know that.
Basically, anyone who died in the original, I'm not convinced that they're actually dead in Remake, because Square's just like, everyone's fine, it's fine.
I hate Final Fantasy as a series. This series fucking sucks.
Series or just Final Fantasy VII as a series?
No, all of it.
I mean, spoilers for Final Fantasy VII Remake, I guess. That game came out, 2 years ago?
1 to 15, they're all bad.
That's why this is the best spin-off, because they didn't, beat the dead horse enough yet.
Yeah, they haven't beat the dead wedge yet.
This was the first smack on the cheek of a dead horse where they're like, we could beat this.
Just a little smack on the cheek of a dead horse.
Hey, yeah. God, anyway, let's continue doing our podcast about it.
Which we still have 700 episodes to do of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they keep releasing games faster than we can cover.
I know.
Yeah.
I hate this stupid series and this stupid fucking company. Also, let's spend multiple hours of our lives every single week talking about it until we die.
Well, we come up to the final gate with these with our daycare, and we get attacked by those electric Roombas that we fought before.
Okay, so I actually take it back. I had some characters still alive in the WRO after this scene. The electric Roombas killed the rest of them. While I was looking for items, I was looking for things, and I heard ah! And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I ran back, and they're all dead, and a bunch of Roombas are coming after me. I'm like, what?
I can't remember what chapter it happened to me on, but it was the same sort of thing where the mission came up and it was like, save the WRO soldiers, and you had to run somewhere else, or they were in another screen, and I was looking around for them trying to find them, and I just heard and then I finally found them and they were all dead. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit, and I'm not gonna restart. This game cheats.
It would be worth to me actually looking back at all of my streams and my VODs, or listening to the podcast and putting all this together and being out of all the savable WRO members in the entire game, if we added them all together, how many have I saved? Because there's probably 100 savable WRO members across the game, and I've probably saved 5.
See, I don't feel guilty about this. I don't think their blood is on my hands, my Vincent Valentine hands. I think it's easy to just blame this all on Reeve.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Reeve should not have put those explosive barrels where I was shooting.
Reeve should not have trained his soldiers to exclusively run directly into our fucking gunfire.
Reeve should not have told his child soldiers that explosive barrels are fine as coverage.
They're filled with pickles. That's why they're
filled with pickles. Exactly.
So yeah, after that gate, we finally get to offload these WRO members, right?
We get to offload the one coward guy. Yes.
At least, yeah.
The singular WRO member, depending on how you played it.
Who sees...
We see a vending machine and a commander comes through, and everyone runs to him like they're getting picked up by their parents at the daycare. Commander!
Yeah, the scared guy goes, Commander! That's really good. And he has the silly kind of macho military voice, Vincent Valentine, thank you for your assistance.
He's the same guy that got killed by Rosso when we first saw her.
Oh, that's right.
Where did everyone go?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, he tells us, he gives us the video game speech. To reach the central complex, you must proceed through this maze of decommissioned train cars.
You must hit the X button at the right time. It's on the back of the CD case.
You must quickly send us the first 16 characters on the front of your credit card.
Vincent Valentine needs help.
Are you a bad enough dude to save him?
Just send the 16 numbers on your credit card, the expiration date, and the 3 numbers on the back to everyfnff@gmail.com.
Try that, kids at home.
Anyway, he tells you what to do. Vincent says,
but once again, it's like, however, I've received reports that beyond the graveyard are some of the enemy's most powerful defenses. That's how video games work. Called power creep.
And he goes, all right, I'll see what I can do. And the WR member's like, oh wait, I can't let you go without backup. And Vincent says, no, you heard what Sid said. Your job is to live. If you come with me, the chances are you'll all die. And Vincent's right.
Yeah, you can't fault the man. He is 100% right about that.
Because I saved none of them. So
I don't know if that takes into account your accuracy stat. Maybe it is. Maybe he says something better if you're better at this game, but he is right on the money that they will die. There
is actually a alternate line depending, I think, if all the... I forget what the stats are. I should point this out because I was extracting the audio, but he does say if you come with me, chances are you won't make it. I think it depends, like, if... For some reason, it's like if only the females like soldiers live, he'll say something different, or the other way around.
Oh, really? Weird.
It's weird. It's like just like one like why does that matter?
Interesting.
It depends on if you're the girl reading this.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the opposite of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to die. But anyway, yeah. So he so Vincent's allowed to continue on, and there's a kind of a cool little section where like. I think this is very much like the original FF7 train graveyard where you're going through the trains sometimes, you're walking around the trains other times. Kind of...
There's no pushing of trains.
Yeah, no pushing of trains. Yeah, true.
No ghosts to be seen.
Much to my chagrin, no ghosts.
All the ghosts have left. Ever since everyone moved out, there's no one left to haunt, so they kind of packed up their ghost bags and left.
Yeah, they all moved to Edge.
Now, I think... This is the point with the
yeah, there's another stage where like you get through the first graveyard, there's not really much happening, but as soon as you pass through another door, you see stage mission, save the surviving WRO members.
Yes,
and they immediately get fucking mortared.
Like
like as they die while stage mission is still on the screen too, which is like, oh no.
Yeah, nobody I should point out, nobody has any fucking chill when like stage mission comes up on screen. Like guns are a firing and you can't see shit because you're looking at like the logo up front where it's like, here's your new mission. I'm like, I can't do this now. I'm playing the game.
So are those ones scripted to die?
I assume those two are, because I think they're just red shirts where they're supposed to kind of just demonstrate like, oh, there's people
you know
up in the crow's nest.
Shadimp actually said something about that specifically while I was playing it. I can look for it.
Yeah, because I think that's the one that I was thinking of where I heard people in the distance getting shot at and I hadn't made it there yet. And then I run in and they immediately get hit with a rocket and die because it's pretty immediate.
Let me see if I can find it here.
Here we go. Those two WR soldiers are meant to blow up if you get too close to them, unless the enemy in front of them has already been defeated. Okay.
Oh, so you might be able to save them.
You can save them if you don't get close to them.
Well, that's weird.
Damn,
so
that's...
they're scripted to die as soon as you get close to them, but if you can take out the enemies that they're firing at before you get close to them, they can actually live.
It's real Rogue from X-Men rules. Like, cannot get too close or you will harm them.
It's a metaphor for Vincent.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's so standoffish. Why he's so tsundere.
I couldn't take out all these dudes on the water tower and the turrets. I couldn't take them out, so I just left them and I just dodged around the train cars.
Yeah, I think you can hit him with materia. Mostly, yeah. It's so frustrating with the rifle.
You can hit him if you have fire, because fire will explode and like do area of effect damage. And I was able to kill like 2 of them with that, but I ran out of materia, ran out of Mako, I guess.
Yeah. But they're ruthless. They're like have turrets. They're just firing from above, and it's really hard to like, get cover. It's hard to get cover and also like kind of land the reticle on them.
Agreed.
Yeah,
and especially because you basically shoot them in the head, and this reticle wants to lock into their chest, which is guarded by the turret shield.
Yeah. I kind of just used the scope, the rifle.
I just said fuck them. I just moved on.
Fuck them and the WRO. I told them to stay away.
But now, interestingly, in the next section, as soon as like
we go into like a train like garage, I guess, a warehouse, right?
Yeah. And immediately once you walk into that garage, on the right is another Omega report that I was playing this on stream that I walked by, and then someone on stream was like, "Oh, you walked by the Omega report." I turned around, walked by it again, turned around, walked by it again, and they were like, "No, you keep missing it." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And
the Benny Hill theme was playing. We were all laughing at Curtis.
It's tucked away pretty. I mean, like it's right there. It's not far away from you, but like unless your camera angle is correct, you can't see it.
I'm watching my playthrough now, and I definitely missed that, but I saw you when you did it. So yeah, it's easy to miss. It's kind of one of those things where it's like not on the critical path. Like you have to kind of circle around and be exploring for it, and you have to have, like Curtis said, your camera in the right angle to even see it.
Right.
Hold on, I'm looking at the Brady guy to see if it points it out. If I knew where it was, memory capsule 1. Where is it? What is that?
Shout outs to Brady and all his great guides.
Thanks, Brady.
Who is Brady? Is this Tom Brady?
Who's Brady?
Is he of the Brady Bunch?
Is it Brady from the Brady Bunch? Is that who that is?
The famous Brady from the Brady Bunch.
You know, I have my Twitch stream up that I'm looking at right now, and I'm tempted to just start watching some other like Twitch stream while we podcast. Spike Vegeta playing Final Fantasy IX. What?
Hell yeah, we got to get him on the pod.
Get him on the pod. Come on the pod.
We're in the middle of this episode, and Kurt was like, "I wish I wasn't talking about Dirge of Cerberus right now. I wish I was watching someone else play a video game."
Yeah. She's like, "Damn, you guys ever played FF9? That game's good." Despite what I just said about the Final Fantasy series and Square. Those fucking bastards.
We're in the warehouse, and we find a surviving WRO member kind of hunkered down inside a car, right?
Yeah. And he's like delirious, right?
I kind of like the trope of like the soldier who's hiding out and is like whips out his gun and out of like reflex because he's just been holding out for so long and his wits about him.
Yep.
Classic
Agreed.
cool action movie thing.
Yeah.
There's no way out of here.
None. I looked all over, but found nothing. It looks like we're both stuck in here.
And then immediately Shulk says there's a way out of here.
Yeah.
She calls.
Vincent's phone starts going off. No,
actually, he calls her this time.
Oh, does he?
Oh, does he?
He does.
That's right.
He does. He calls 1-800-SHELK, what's up? And I noticed this too. Somebody pointed out while I was streaming, but I did notice it. I'm proud of it. When he talks to Shulk on his phone screen, like background wallpaper or whatever, is like a shot of Shulk standing in front of like a bunch of monitors looking really cool. And I was just like, that's amazing. Who made this? Like, who took this picture? And I like to believe that it was like in a screen transition in between, like, while we were on the Shara, right? Like, we're like talking to Shulk, and like before we leave, we're like, hey, wait, you know what would be great? We should get a shot of this.
Before we left WRO headquarters, we had to head up to PR and like get Shulk's paperwork
That's
all
right.
in order, and like they get a picture of her for her like badge and everything, and that gets put into the system.
That's right.
Before she gets to do her IT work.
Yeah, that way she could get benefits as well.
Yeah, I think it's cute though.
Yeah, right.
The healthcare, the dental's pretty good, but the healthcare sucks.
Not as good as Deep Ground, but you know, you gotta pick your battles.
Also, when she picks up the phone, she always calls Vincent Valentine, like both of his names.
I love it so much.
She always says it kind of sleepily and not quite a question, not quite a statement. It's
Vincent Valentine.
Yeah.
She says it in the way that like Alexa or Siri will say, like, "My Bloody Valentine." Now playing. My Bloody Valentine.
Actually, what if that isn't even her answering? It's just like it's when you say your name after the beep.
Yeah.
You are now dialing.
She had to program the name for the dial by name directory, which requires you to record your name first for some reason. Well, if she's IT, she probably had to set it up for him, you know. He doesn't know how to use a fucking phone.
Either way, she says there's an exit just on the other side of this warehouse that we're like about to pass through anyway.
Yeah.
We would have found it without her help.
But
this guy's like, I looked everywhere except for the only place remaining on the map that I haven't gone yet.
I trust
like,
this one guy to tell me that there's literally no way out of here. I mean, to be fair, the next area is kind of like swarmed with some pretty strong enemies.
Oh yeah, no, that dude who was holding out would have been fucking turned into cream corn. Like if he fucking tried to go down
pile
there.
of goo.
Yeah, he would have been picoed.
Pika that guy. Oh,
I don't know why I thought that was so funny.
I know. Once again, yeah, they do say like, but beware, like the guys up front ahead are pretty strong.
Yeah.
Which everyone's been saying to Vincent.
I like that she says, she goes, you probably won't even break a sweat, but I still figured I'd let you know about these guys. That's pretty good.
She's become quite the homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yo, she has like a great redemption arc coming up, actually. It's really good.
I do like her kind of, I mean, this line may be part of that whole like, I care about you, but I don't want to show it.
Yeah.
Sundari.
Yeah, I'm not doing this for you. I'm just doing it because I have to kind of thing.
I would say I'm not a very sappy individual, but like, I do love a good like, yo, homies is strong together story. And like, I love that shit. And so being like, yo, actually, if we make Shulk into a homie, she will be even more powerful. And I'm like, yes.
Shout out to
strength.
Monica Magica. The ultimate tale of homie strength.
I don't know. That one's like, become a magical girl for your homies and suffer like unending
and
hell.
Suffer horribly. Yeah.
But the next section, after we leave the train warehouse, is kind of a mini boss fight because there are two sweepers and the deep ground commander.
Oh yeah, here's the sweepers. That's right.
That's right. I didn't know which one the deep ground commander was. I just shot everybody and then I had killed them.
He was the guy who just would not die on stream today for you.
I did not even notice that there was a boss health bar. I just ran through this entire thing. Yeah, it's the deep ground commander. Like it's just a boss health bar. And I was just running around and shooting all the enemies, killing the sweepers and stuff. And then I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I just kept unloading on him. And I was like, how is this guy taking this many shots? And then right before I killed him, I noticed the boss bar. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
I couldn't tell that like I wasn't killing him because I kept missing. So I just assumed that he was like,
I like saw the damage numbers and I was just like, oh my god, this enemy is just unbeatable.
Yeah, you were just like, why won't this guy die? And I was like, Curtis, look at the top of the screen. Like,
I see.
I mean, I didn't know either, actually.
I see, in this game, I shoot first and I ask questions later.
Yeah.
Usually on this podcast is when I ask the questions that are then answered quickly thereafter.
But likely you killed the sweepers and the other soldiers before you defeat the deep ground commander and you get the key card.
Yeah.
And we go into a little tunnel.
Oh, but before we go into the tunnel, after we beat the commander, he summons more of those Roombas, right?
Oh, no.
And then when you kill all the Roombas, they drop a
They start sweeping up your friend who got turned into Pico de Gallo. It clogs them up. They just start
you know
beeping.
what? I could really go for like a quesadilla after this, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll get some nice Mexican food tonight.
Get some of that gallo. Anyway.
Oh, they're called red saucers, apparently. That's very funny.
Oh, that's funny.
They're marinara.
There is a very sneaky memory capsule, or whatever it's called, underneath one of the trains here.
Yeah, it's true.
They're under so many trains.
Yeah. You see a train, you got to check under it. That's the rule.
Yeah.
But yeah, a bunch of those Roombas come out, and once you take care of them, at least for me, they all instantly dropped items, and 3 of them were accessories.
L adjuster, M adjuster, and S adjuster.
That's right. Which is supposed to be accuracy enhancers for different lengths of shots. Which, after talking to Shadimp about it a little bit afterwards, he informed me that the L adjuster does nothing. So it just does not work.
Is it one of those classic video game things where it's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to work like this, but it just doesn't?
You know what? Speaking of which,
real Final Fantasy 1 energy.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remaster recently, and I think it was the right decision to fix the glitches for it. I think that's the right decision because you get to experience it like kind of as intentioned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
with George Lucas's original vision.
Yeah, it was still very weird at first to be like, wait, blind works? That's stupid. Like I would like miss things and I'd be like, no, I want everybody to have maximum like accuracy all the time, like the original FF6.
I think they should do what like legacy synthesizer companies do and just have like a toggle switch that lets you change the different revisions.
Oh yeah.
It's like, do you want this filter or this filter? You like go in your menu, like enable glitches.
Yeah,
to keep it like the authentic experience.
That would be dope, actually. I agree. Oh, you know what? You literally in my stream typed in the word he has a health bar up top, buddy. About the commander.
Yeah.
So, well, whatever.
Mr. Commanderson has effectively been killed.
But yeah, so we ended up going underground now.
That's not even half my health bar, buddy.
Buddy.
We go through a corridor tunnel. There are a few...
There's more dudes at the end.
Okay.
Kind of a access tunnel where there's a few heavy armed soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
But once we pass through, we do end up in a pretty suspiciously empty, large...
That's right.
Train graveyard.
Yeah.
Right.
You can hide inside some of them. Like, the sides are open so you can kind of pass through.
Yep.
Good for cover from above.
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed when I ran out here was that there's some sort of missiles just flying down from the sky.
Yeah. Now those don't interact with you, but you will see like increased bombardment, I guess.
Yeah.
I love that the skybox has like animations in it. That's so cool.
It's super good. Actually, this is where I noticed how dark the sky had become by this point too.
Mm-hmm. It could easily be like chalked up to just like gunfire and war smoke and shit, also kind of smogging up things.
True.
But it's also getting dark. Lanterns are turned on, but this time she calls us as we have to like walk to the other end of the area first. I feel like this would have benefited from a triggering cutscene as soon as you enter the area.
Yeah,
but it does give us a chance to kind of scout out and stock up before this cutscene because there is I think a shop on like the west end.
There are a lot of shops in this area, like
at least on normal
in this
mode.
chapter.
Yeah,
at least on the American mode.
Yeah,
in the American mode. Apparently, a lot of these were revised and taken out of the harder difficulties, or they were never in the Japanese version of the game.
Right.
They just put like a merchant in every boss fight, so you can just like time out.
They're all
Classic,
over the place in the American version. They're everywhere.
Classic, Japan just being like, well, America's a bunch of babies, so let's not give them Super Mario Brothers 2, the lost levels, because they are not lost here.
This is Dirge of Cerberus easy type.
Yeah, this is actually called Doki Doki Dirge of Cerberus.
To be fair, we did get the better version of Mario 2. But
Dude, Mario 2, Mario 2 USA is pretty fucking good.
It's really fucking good. And then you play Lost Levels and you're like, oh, this kind of blows.
Yeah, Lost Levels is just mean. That was like, Miyamoto was like really just dialing up the cruelty. He was like, you know what? Fuck anyone who likes these games.
The real Mario 2 begins here.
Yeah, you have to level up adaptability to get all the iframes. Sucks, dude.
That's right.
We get a call from Shelk. She says you've reached the central complex. So I'm thinking actually the pillar of like where the underplate meets the top plate.
Oh, yeah.
Proceed up to reach the plate's surface.
What's wrong?
The approaching deep ground squat. No, it's nothing. I'll contact you again.
And then she warns us about aerial troopers.
Yeah.
It's like, why does she say no, it's nothing though? Unless she just wants to like calm down.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like
Maybe
I definitely missed the context there.
I don't know.
Yeah, because she's like, the approaching deep ground squat. No, nothing. Never mind. Like,
I feel like she kind of does that a lot, where she'll start saying something and then be like, "Oh, wait, never mind."
Yeah,
it's like very like suspicious.
It is. Yeah, I don't know exactly what she means by that.
Yeah, but she says aerial troopers. Good luck, Vincent. And yeah, this is very much. They can fly now.
Yeah,
They fly now.
Star Wars would say they fly now. Yeah, they can fly now.
I like how goofy their fucking jetpacks look.
They're cool. They have little like actual like stability like airplane wings and shit, which I think is kind of
neat.
I
mean they look like they're more functional than like a backpack one would be. It kind of looks like a drone, like one that you would put a camera on and stuff and get cool shots of like, the Ben Franklin Bridge or whatever the fuck. Like
it does look like a very tiny like the tiny Bronco. Like it's like the pieces of the tail of the tiny Bronco and just strapped it to someone's back.
Yeah. So
it has like the forward thrusters and the upper thrusters.
Yeah, it looks much more realistic, but in the jetpacks that I know and love, I want them to be bulky and goofy looking and dumb.
Yeah, but these are called the Shrikes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, what is that? We get another cool like thermal vision screen of one of the Shrikes approaching Vincent with him in red and pointer screen.
Yeah, do we get Vincent's blood type on that still?
Is it A?
Yeah.
Type A.
A for the grade I get in every chapter.
Gender male.
But yeah, so we fight these bosses, or I guess they're not really bosses. It's kind of like a mini boss.
It's like a hive mind, I guess.
It is weird that they all share one health bar.
Mm-hmm.
They're like that first Demon Souls boss where we have to like
yeah,
throw the fire bombs and get in there and get them.
Right.
the one that does have a very optimal strat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely an optimal strat that I'm not good at, and I always fuck it up.
They're not too bad, only because there is ample cover in this area. So like, I think you're intended to like get up next to the trains or go hide in them and like kind of peer out and snipe them. And if you do that, it's not too bad.
Because I don't think they ever ground. I think they always just kind of float
Yeah, they're always kind of just flying around.
above train height, so they can kind of just circle around.
This would be way more fun with a light gun, House of the Dead style.
This is a good boss. I felt like this was pretty good.
Yeah, this was good.
I
didn't find it too difficult. I didn't even notice that you could take cover. I was just like, I have one move, and my move is run and gun, and that's all I will ever do. And I didn't really have too much trouble.
I do wonder sometimes if like the control of this game and like the way it kind of works is like just not quite good enough to have like puzzle bosses and stuff like that, where like you really, really genuinely have to use the cover to be able to win. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's
definitely
the strategy, but there's maybe not quite enough strength or depth in the fighting in this game. Because like combat in this game feels fine. It's not incredible, but it feels
It's not
fine.
spectacular. It's not broken and terrible to do. It's a solid pass. It's fun to play. I think the best way that I can think to describe the gameplay of this game is it's a really solid first attempt at a thing that if they followed this up with a sequel or just like used this engine in another game, they would have like fine-tuned it and made it way more like an FPS like of the time that have become, how first-person shooters are now. Like this came out after Halo, so
also the speed and strength of it for the PS2 is very impressive. I bet if this came out later, it would be much, much tighter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would be genuinely excited if they remade this game.
Oh, yeah, it would probably be super fun.
Yeah.
Or even something like it, like would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe with remaking and whatever Ever Crisis thing will like maybe stoke some interest for it.
We're gonna get Dirge of Irving from FF8 finally.
Yo, I would love that. Can he double jump?
I would hate and love that. I would be like, oh no, more of this clown.
I do not like that character at all.
Square, stop pretending like FF8 doesn't exist anymore. Give us more shit.
Yeah. Hey, at least they gave us the remaster. For a while, I was like, they're just not going to remaster that one.
You know
the
what?
only
I was so
one
happy.
that didn't have a remaster.
Fucking props to that. That was great. When I heard the remaster was announced, I was like, oh my god. So happy.
Yeah.
So happy.
I think that was announced right when we came up with the idea for this podcast.
I think we talked about it on the podcast.
Because I remember seeing that and being like, oh shit, I need to go through and I really want to replay Final Fantasy VII before remake, but I also really want to play Final Fantasy VIII again because I love that game. And also I want to play every Final Fantasy game, but my brain is shitty and I have to assign everything to a project in order to actually stay with it. And then
welcome to the Every FNFF podcast.
Yeah, Curtis, you were just like, I have an idea that I don't think anyone would do with me other than maybe you. And I was like, that sounds like a dumb idea. Let's do it.
That sounds like Podcast of Paradise, Every FNFF Origin. We're three homies.
That's right.
Is that 3-player co-op?
Yeah, it is.
Damn,
what?
we need to do that.
We do.
I was gonna download the demo just to see how it feels it looks totally dumb, and everyone's like, "This is like the Metal Gear Rising for this generation."
Yes.
It's fucking great.
Pretty much
Final
the
Fantasy
only thing.
Revengeance.
I haven't seen much about it. And anyone I've seen talking about it says it fucking rules. So that's all I need to hear about it. Like, I have no expectations. I don't care about it at all, so I know I'm gonna fucking love it.
Did you see the Tonberry gif? The can you pet the Tonberry? Have you seen that?
I don't think so. That's so good.
It's like, you know how like the dude like he'll like turn things into these red crystals and shatter them or whatever. There's just like a Tonberry that's just standing there minding its own business, and like he runs up to it and grabs it and is like, "Ugh!" And like it turns into a bunch of red crystals and then he breaks it apart. Like murders this Tonberry.
Well, I mean, it was him or the Tonberry,
That's fair. Well, he's gonna get Chef's knife for that later.
Kill or be killed with those motherfuckers.
This guy's so mad.
Anyway,
yeah, I think that's the end of that chapter. Should we talk
that's
about
the end
our
of that
scores?
chapter.
There's the cool cutscene where the final Shrike is like gunning him down.
Oh yeah, he fucking whoops this dude's ass.
And he does a little hop.
Oh yeah.
He springs off the train, hops off of the lamppost, and does a cool ass like knee bash into this guy's face, and then there's a kick. I'm watching in real time. A flip and a little Trinity Matrix flip.
Hell
It's
yeah,
fucking
dude.
cool.
And it feels extra Matrixy because we're getting that this big brassy hold.
If it
It just straight feels extra.
If it wasn't, the bullets or the explosion of the fucking jetpack blowing up that killed him, he definitely would have just died from like blunt trauma to like his ribs and just chest and head. Like Vincent straight up just beat the shit out of this guy to death.
He's already dead.
Extremely good. Extremely cool.
But yeah, and that's our first score screen.
Yep.
How do y'all do?
A.
I do not remember mine.
I got a bunch of S's this time, and I still got an A. And I think it's because of my critical hits were the only thing that I had a C on.
Damn.
But like, that's not fair. I don't get to determine that roll.
Yeah, that's completely random, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a B. I know. I don't have the actual specs.
Yeah,
though.
I got a B. I didn't collect all the Mako, which is disappointing. Critical
I
hits,
did.
I got
I was very
19.
proud of myself.
I sustained a lot of damage, as always. Pretty decent accuracy at 60%. And 74
I think I had,
targets destroyed.
I think I had like 5 WRO guys died on my watch.
Yeah.
Out of the 9.
Oh my god. Yeah, let me get to those. Let me get to that screen.
Yeah, so escort the WRO squad to the central complex or whatever. Squad survivors I got was 5 out of 5. Hell
Ooh.
yeah. Save the surviving WRO members. There's 9 of them. I saved exactly one of
The
them.
chosen one.
I'm going to say that wasn't my fault. I feel like that was the game being shitty.
Well, you saved one more than I did.
And yeah. Oh, I guess you can not defeat the deep ground commander because
Apparently.
it
Can he kick your ass or what?
it gives you a
Did
stat
run
for
away?
that.
Interesting.
So I killed him. I think we all did. So it's 1 out of 1.
I think there are some things
Yeah.
that are just like mandatory.
yeah,
like,
maybe
well,
it's
I
just
guess the
free
boy-
points.
I guess the boy doesn't count. Like I was thinking about this thing. Like, oh yes, it's 1 out of 1 or whatever.
Well, I didn't save any WRO members.
Yeah, well,
You're on your own, buddy.
it was a team effort,
Fuck
Curtis,
'em.
and it's not all your fault.
It was a team effort, and I was the only one. And you know what letters are in team? M and E. Me.
It's the Sid logic where one of them fell, and then all of the ones behind him also fell.
Yes, it was right.
dominoes. You can't beat yourself up.
They should have waited on the bus. But yeah, I think that'd be a good time to recharge, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's take a break my leg in half.
You can get an auto reloader.
Yeah. I think I saw that, and I was like, it's like 20,000 gil or something. I'm like, that sounds super helpful and super cool. And then I was also like, maybe that's just a huge waste of money because
Yeah, Vincent already auto reloads.
I don't trust these game guides because I'm still torn by the Professor Oak saying, "Save your Master Ball for a Firo."
Yeah, that was in the Wild West days of like video game
Wait, what?
publications, I guess.
In like old player guide for Pokemon, it was like, remember, there's only one Master Ball in the game, so use it on something good, like like a Firo or.
Oh my god, I'm reading it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
That reminds me of some graffiti that was on one of the bathroom stalls in my high school, which was, "I wasted my Master Ball on a Zubat," which was just kind of a staple in my high school. Of everyone
It sounds like
saying
a Fall Out Boy song or something.
yeah, or like a post-punk band.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Wild.
we are inside the complex.
Inside the complex.
Into the complex again.
And you know it's a complex because we're indoors, and
That's right.
Instead of a train graveyard, this is like a train birthing canal.
I think Curtis described this as a box factory. Certainly is a crate factory, like all the crates that we can destroy for goodies. All the pinata crates, the cargo crates.
There are a
there's
lot.
so fucking many here.
Yep. It is a crateful area. Absolutely.
So crates.
Socrates. Yeah, there's a bunch of crates there. We meet a couple WRO members. There is a turret here that you can get in and shoot a bunch of deep ground soldiers that walk out of a door. And I thought that maybe I would accidentally kill the WRO members with the turret if they got in my way. And they immediately just ran in front of the turret. And I was like, you bastards!
I don't think there's friendly fire in normal mode.
There isn't.
Maybe not
Somebody
even
told
in
me that
hard
later,
mode.
yeah.
But yeah. What's nice about all these boxes is you can build up a huge chain. Like I think like 18 chain at one point, which means like my
Nice.
first shot will be massive damage.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. That machine gun that's there, the turret that's there, Shadamp actually told me about a glitch that you can do there to get infinite machine gun ammo, where I think it's if you have zero machine gun ammo and you like get into the turret and then get out of it, you have like one bullet and it just will shoot nonstop.
Wow.
I think it's
That's
only
cool.
this glitch only exists on this turret, and I think the one in chapter 10, which is pretty weird.
Interesting.
And apparently it's pretty easy to do. I haven't tried it, but it seems pretty cool. He sent me a video of it.
That rules.
That is cool.
I like the one-off, like, I guess it's the only room you see this, but there's train cars that are very, like, ornate, and I guess this is, like, very upper plate-looking train cars.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that. That's a good point.
They're cool.
Yeah, Corey would love these things. They're also, I mean, some of them are knocked over on their side and shit, but a lot of them are kind of upright and look well kept up, so.
Yeah.
Probably for the upper plate.
Beautiful trims. Or special events. It's like the Jolly Trolley that comes through in on the SEPTA line. It's just a completely decked out whatever season it is.
Oh, yeah.
Also down here, actually it was in the room before the turret, now that I think about it. But there is a large train complex that just has like 60 fucking boxes, like item boxes around. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I think you need to use a key card to get in there. And I think there's some items and stuff. There's on top of one of the like shipping containers is a limit breaker. But in order to get on there, you have to jump on small boxes, like non-destructible ones.
Yeah.
And while I was doing that, I was like, wait, this game was designed around only having one jump. So let me try and get up there without the double jump. And I was trying to do it and I couldn't get it. And I was just like, fuck this. And I like double jumped and then saw that it was a limit breaker. I'm like, did they put a limit breaker up here that you had? The only way you could get it was by using the double jump from your limit? Like, I don't understand. Like, I was probably just bad.
In the Japanese version, double jump only exists when you're in limit break mode.
I did not know it did, actually.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about that a lot as I like kind of play through.
This is just a troll where like I'm going to turn into Gillian Beast to see
Get
what's
this
up there.
cool item, and then it's like, here you go.
It's like, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
It's all for naught.
Sorry you came all this way. Here, you can have it back. Yeah. Yeah. So once we enter the little door off the hallway that we can fire the turret into, there is a small like command center station.
Yeah, I feel like this is like partially because of like all the gates. I feel like they really don't want people from the lower plates traversing to the upper plates that easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, control room, like you said.
Maybe a little security station or something. A little small one. There's only like 2 consoles in here. And then at the end of the room, there's a ladder that takes us up to a little catwalk where we get another mission to avoid the aerial mines.
Yeah. Also, the ladder takes fucking forever to go up because Vincent climbs extremely slowly.
It's weird playing Elden Ring and actually like climbing ladders fast.
Snake Eater.
It reminds me of
Time for Snake.
It reminds me
Still in a dream. Sorry.
when Bonfireside Chat was doing their season on Demon Souls, they were talking about how fucking slow climbing up a ladder in Demon Souls is. And Gary Butterfield was like, I am a man in my 30s, and like I take my time when I am on ladders because if I fall, I will just fuck my life up forever. He's like, and I climb ladders faster than the fucking character in Demon Souls.
I mean, have you all tried climbing a ladder that goes straight up? It's a lot harder than you think.
I think I used to in like the auditorium in my high school.
I think the last time I climbed a straight up and down ladder, actually, Alex, was with you when we were exploring like a warehouse where we used to have band practice at.
Yeah, I think we were waiting for Carl.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, we used to record the podcast, the Final Fantasy X season there.
2 seasons ago.
That was our pandemic, socially distant pod area.
And now we're even more distant.
Now it's not as big of a threat to us. But we are completely remote.
I get trying to climb up a ladder and imagine having a gun in one hand and also really long
True.
feet.
And those pointy ass fucking shoes.
Those shoes, though.
Oh goodness, yeah, probably slipping all around all the place.
We've talked about Vincent's feet, and are his feet really big, or are they just big shoes?
Is it a Sideshow Bob thing?
I was gonna say, is it like
Square Enix? Show us Vincent's feet.
Would we be able to accurately show that he is the criminal in the case because of his large foot versus Krusty the Clown's small foot, or is it reverse? Is he a Krusty or is he a Sideshow Bob?
I think we have there. You know, I don't want to toot our own horn too much, but like we have some people who listen to our podcast. There's a couple, right? We have some people who listen to our podcast now, and I am sure that out of them, there's probably some like decent artists, right? Like some people probably have DeviantArt accounts, and I'm calling on you, listener, to draw us some Vincent Valentine feet.
Send us
I
Vincent
want to see those
feet.
If you send us Vincent Valentine feet pics or tweet them at us, I personally will retweet every one of them and rank them. No, I don't want to rank them. Your art is great. It's always 10 out of 10. But I will retweet them.
They will all be 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
I started paying attention to a lot of feet in this game primarily because
I love you, Alex.
Azul has giant ass feet. It's like someone's probably drawn Azul barefoot, but I also noticed that his concept art versus his in-game art, his in-game feet are so flat. And the same is for Sid. Sid has like extremely flat feet for some.
Well, that happens if you don't have good arch support.
Sid also has very flat feet. It's really strange. They're little flippers. But I just posted a picture of him in his Turk outfit. It looks like he just has normal sized feet, but in very thick, like work shoe clogs that you'd wear to like if you're in the food service, like you don't want non-slip shoes.
I see.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that model of Vincent in a T-pose that I've used.
I bet those are just goth boots. They actually go all the way up, and you can't really see it because they do look almost like platform shoes.
Either way, they're cool as hell. But anyway, so we're avoiding these aerial mines, which how did you guys do on this little puzzle?
Well, there's like 8 gates that are just kind of phasing in and out, so you have to kind of like maneuver your way through this catwalk without getting hit by these little mines, right?
Yeah, and these gates are RNG.
Yeah, I tried to avoid them and then immediately got blown up by one. So then I said, fuck it, I'll just hold forward and see what happens, and I dodged the rest of them perfectly.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I think
that's my strat, baby.
I think I immediately got hit by one, but then also later on I got a game over, so I just went back and got to do it again for free, and I was able to strategize a little more since I had already gone through it. But
I will say it's kind of interesting because you are getting locked out by these gates on this little catwalk and trying to avoid the mines, and they do throw a neat little monkey wrench in it by having like a little sniper appear at the end of the catwalk and then shoot down the walk at you.
Yeah.
So you have to like pick and choose your times to move and then fire back. So that's kind of interesting. I like how they threw that into the mix.
I was almost certain that you could crouch just to avoid being hit by the mines.
So did I. I got hit while I was crouched. I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
Those gates are RNG. I don't know the specifics of it, but I know that two of the Shademp and Dynamite Dan were in my chat when I was playing through it, and they were talking about it, and they said that there was a newer runner of the game who was kind of just going through this part and apparently got like godlike RNG and just had like almost a clear shot just running straight through.
Oh, wow.
And everyone was like freaking out in the Discord, and everyone was like, oh, how did this happen and stuff. I just love shit like that. Like
that's
the
awesome.
god cycle of the beam gates and the aerial mine mission.
Yeah, someday we'll be able to just skip it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wonder if you can just hover over it now. Maybe not because of the mines.
When we get to the end of that hallway too, we get a
step count will help.
We immediately are put into another mission as soon as we complete that one too.
Fight the Beetleborgs.
And I don't know what exactly you're supposed to do here.
Yeah, this one sucks.
So the what are they called? What are the beetle robots?
Are they the Black Widows?
Black Widows.
They're basically. So it says destroy the robotic assault units, which are just another Black Widow.
So occasionally the Black Widows will be running down the hallway, and they take up the whole hallway. Like they are the size of the hallway. So it's very intimidating seeing them run down the hallway at you. And I think the thing is, once they get to you, they will self-destruct and do just a shitload of damage. I was able to kill all of none of them before they got to me. So
me too, the exact same. Where like they got to me and then blew up, and I was like, "Cool, did I destroy it?" And was just too close to it, but I killed it. And then no,
it kills itself by running into a wall. I think is what happens.
Interesting.
Well, I had backed up all the way to the wall, so
it is a little clunky.
Yeah. Fuck that.
And also there was a WRO member in this hallway too who's like, oh my gosh, and like so he is dead as shit. So R.I.P. to my guy.
What else?
Well, right after that room is another jukebox, another shop, and then a choice of whether to go down a hallway to the left or right. And I went left first, and there's a little puzzle room that I was very proud of myself for getting, like for immediately understanding how it worked. It was kind of neat.
Yeah, I did not understand this puzzle at all.
Yeah, I missed it.
Okay, yeah. So you walk into this room, and there are a ton of those like card key barriers everywhere, right? And they're in like very weird patterns, and you can't walk very far into the room. So if you look around, there are these very, very small little spheres. There's like little black spheres.
They're like the bombs that I think the Black Widow dropped when we first encountered one.
Yeah, they're little like mines that are kind of like pink and black.
Yeah, and they're kind of hidden in the room. They'll be up on boxes or behind boxes and things like that. And you can only see them from certain angles. So you kind of have to maneuver your camera around and like put Vincent in an area where he can actually see them. And you can shoot them and they'll deactivate portions of the barriers so that then you can worm yourself further into the room and have a different sight on the room so you can find other of these little balls to shoot. And once you do, there's like a couple thousand gil and like a potion in there. Nothing incredible.
Clever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like two things of like 1,000 gil each, and every time I pick up 1,000 gil, I'm like, hell yeah, that's another Phoenix down, because that is all I will be using. I'm just always going to buy a Phoenix down if I don't have one.
Funny you say that. I actually used my first Phoenix down at the end of this hallway, the other direction.
Yeah, the other direction, there's a turret guy.
There's just a dude on a turret shooting down the hallway, which like, I've played many shooters. I've played many first-person shooter games. I've played many action games, and I feel like a dude on a turret in a hallway is truly the best defense of like all time. That shit sucks to deal with.
If you had one of those in the Cosmo Canyon Fort Condor minigame, you would just need to put one of them there and you're fine.
That's right. But yeah, I just kind of like jumped and zigzagged my way toward him, and I only got hit once or twice. And
yeah, I really liked your strat. You got close enough to where he jumped out of that, and then you just punched the shit out of him very slowly for a long time because he has a lot of HP.
So this guy has like 1,000 HP plus or something like that. And if you get close enough, he gets out of the turret. And so what I did was I just used the first punch in Vincent's combo, and then I would wait and then use the first punch again. So Vincent never did the combo, but the guy was never able to like start his own attacks. And I just sat there and I just stun locked him. And it took like a solid 2 minutes to go through his health because he has a shitload of health.
Doing 50 HP at a time. It's so funny.
Just like dunk, dunk, dunk. And
really
he could never go anywhere.
And I'm pretty sure after that you game overed and had to do that, or you didn't. Oh no,
I did.
Yeah. You had to restart the level.
Oh, that's right.
And then you just did the same exact thing again. So it was just you punching the guy in the head over and over and over again. I just used the rifle and sniped the guy, and it was it didn't really take all that long, but I did take a lot of damage because of it.
But where's the comedy genius?
Oh no, your strat is so much better. I feel like a fool that I didn't think of it.
What was that Hank of the Hill? What's the King of the Hill episode where he's just pushing that guy into the dirt over and over again?
Vincent of Valentine.
Kind of the she. But we get another opportunity to aid some WRO members.
Yeah, let's talk about this one.
This one I completely missed until I was watching Carl play.
Yeah. This is an interesting one where there's a like one of those like shield doors down at the end of the hallway. It has the red thing over it, so you can't open it, and it has
a gate,
like the gates at the bottom, like a key. What's it called?
A laser gate.
Key card laser gate.
So you can still shoot through it.
Yeah, but you can see some of the WRO guys there, and I was like, oh, okay, I just need to go and crouch to get through there, and I can help them out. And then you immediately get the prompt to assist the WRO members. I think it's like, I forget specifically what it says, but the mission is to give them cover.
It just says assist the 3 WRO members.
Yeah. You have to give them cover as they are deactivating something. So, as you get up there...
I can't really see that if you're not crouching.
Yeah, the gate comes up and it locks your progress. So you just see deactivating 0 out of 40 and have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So you have to crouch and like look down the hallway, and you'll see the guy deactivating the thing, and a member of Deep Ground will come up directly next to him and start shooting at him. So you just got to take care of that guy.
So I didn't know what was happening when I played it. So I go up to it. I try crouching, but like even then, like unless you're aiming down the scope, you can't see what's down the hallway at all. You can only
you need a sniper scope.
Yeah, the camera's just pointing down at Vincent. So I was like, well, I can't do anything here. And then it says assist the WRO or whatever. And I was like, oh my god. So there's another door in the hallway, and I was like, okay, well that room kind of heads over in that direction. clearly I need to go into this door and run around before these guys are all smoked and killed. And so I run into that door, and then everybody in chat is like, you just locked yourself out of the hidden ending. You need to restart the level. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? This is so terribly done.
Yeah, I thought it was like, oh, I need to get the card key from the other room quickly. Like
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. I just kind of like
card keys can be used in 2 locations sometimes. So it's like, okay, if I take the card key from this room, run back and save them.
Yeah, that's what
and
I
then
thought.
they'll give you another card key to progress. Like I thought that was what was going to happen, but like because I see these guys' ankles, I'm like, oh shit, something's happening. I better rush to go help them.
Yeah,
it's really not a good system because like as we learned literally last episode, like last chapter, sometimes the WRO members will be getting fired upon as you are like prompted to help them, and you hear this other room of people being like of shooting and stuff. There's just a full room of fucking deep ground right next to it. So like I just kind of lucked out that I crouched down right as I saw the deep ground guy come out. So I was like, oh, okay, I just have to shoot this guy. Like my first time through it, I had to I ended up getting a game over in the next hallway after this, but 2 of the WRO guys died on the way there while the deactivation was happening. Like luckily I got to restart, and luckily the checkpoint here isn't too bad. It's literally just those Black Widow things that you have to fight.
Yeah, not far.
And
I will say
I just realized that the deactivation that's happening is they're deactivating the gate that's keeping you from going through.
I was getting ready to say it's not a bomb or
They
anything.
really want you to help them.
Which it is important that you do. This is one that you want to do.
Yeah.
Because...
I also want to talk about how the guy is deactivating the thing.
Oh my god, I love it. Yes.
Again, you have to zoom with your rifle scope, and it's just like a panel on the wall, and the only animation that this guy has to do anything is just like do a melee attack.
The Halo 1 melee attack.
Yeah, like a Halo 1 melee attack. Like he turns the gun and like smacks,
He's like hitting it with the butt of his gun. Yeah, it's incredible.
So
and that's how he's deactivating
that's how
it.
he's just doing that. And every time he does one of the elbow things, it does one of the 40 deactivating.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So he's just breaking this thing.
It's funny also because the deep ground soldiers always come up and stand in the same exact spot, so you can just like leave your rifle there and just wait for them to walk in front of you.
Which I did the second time and saved all 3 again until the next hallway where they immediately died.
So speaking of which, so once he deactivates the door, the gate blocking you is also deactivated, and you can progress into that hallway. And this is a little side hallway. This is not toward like the main goal of the stage. And at the end of that hallway is a staircase. And I did get killed here, but luckily I came back because of a Phoenix down, right? So like I didn't get game overed.
Yeah, but what's happening is that there's your surviving WRO members at the base of the staircase, and there's deep ground soldiers at the top of the staircase trying to charge down at you. But in between there's explosive barrels, which for some reason cannot be exploded while they're in the middle of rolling downstairs.
What the fuck? So here I am at the bottom of the stairs,
oozing, and like I was joking like, yes, it's the middle of a roll animation as an iframe.
Yeah.
So they can blow up. It just takes a lot more bullets for some reason.
It's just as soon as it hits the floor at the bottom of the stairs, it suddenly starts like
So I was sitting there like just plugging these things, shooting away into these barrels, being like, what the fuck? Like, why won't they explode? And then they get to the bottom of the stairs where I am, explode, and it killed me. And I was like, oh, fucking great.
And your WRO soldiers.
So and the WRO soldiers are killed there, yeah.
I guess because you're the only person who can blow them up, I guess the best strategy is just to not shoot at them at all.
I guess so. Yeah. That's how I dealt with the rest of them. I got up the stairs until they fell off their little perches, started rolling down, and just left the area and waited to see them roll down to the bottom.
Yeah, but I think that will also probably kill the WRO members if there's anyone still living.
Fuck them.
But once we clear out that little staircase, you can go up another ladder that takes forever to climb because Vincent is very slow at climbing a straight ladder.
Yeah, we get a G report finally.
Yep.
Yes.
Is this the second one we found?
First.
I think this is the first one that I found. Yeah.
I hope so.
G report.
Yeah, otherwise I got to go back. This is the taboo.
Actually, wait a minute. You know what I did not do? Can you read the G report now?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. You can go into your inventory and read it. But I think we can save that all until we have them all, maybe. There's a lot of it.
Okay, I should say, by the way, the Omega report that we got earlier has nothing of consequence in it at all. It's literally just like Omega
it's like
and
a
Chaos.
recap.
I wonder what Chaos's deal is and why it has to do with Omega. That's all. That's all.
And
it has
says. the poetic Lucrezia ancient prophecy line as well. And it's like, I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Brady guide says it wants you to run after the 3 soldiers that shoot the explosive barrels before they fall, which I guess would make sense to be a safe way to make them blow up.
Yeah, I guess.
Whatever.
But
Yeah.
if we go back the other direction, through the door that me and Alex thought we had to go through the first time, there's a little firefight
like an engine
there.
room.
Yeah, there's a little like an engine or something in the middle.
I guess it's
of the
more
room.
like a power room. There's like Carl was noting that there's just sparks coming off of machinery everywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's what you want to happen on a giant generator. Is just active electricity just flowing off of it.
I doubt there's much upkeep in Midgar these days.
Yeah, it's true.
If all that electricity is coming out of it, I mean, there must be a ton of electricity inside still working just fine. So it's probably fine.
All the electricity wants to come out.
Yeah, they got too much electricity.
This room doesn't have anything really of too much consequence. It's just
lots of dudes.
Just a bunch of dudes.
Which, for all you engineers out there, I know that too much electricity is a problem. I am aware.
Yeah, for cowards.
Bastards.
You can never have too much of a good thing, and electricity is one of the best things.
The best thing. Yeah.
2 soldiers, 3 sergeants, 1 commander is in here.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that because they were pretty easy to kill.
Yeah.
And then
we get the card key.
Yeah, we unlock a gate that then leads to an elevator where we have to hit a button in order to
open the elevator.
And then go up the elevator, and then up there's another room or like a hallway.
Did you catch the memory capsule that was on the elevator shaft going up?
I did not.
No, I did not. Fuck.
Curse, you're pointing right at it too, because there's lights that are kind of scrolling down in front of you as you're going up, and there's one memory capsule just rested on top of one of the lights.
Ooh, really?
Motherfuckers. Yeah. They're sneaky bastards.
Very nice.
It's really annoying because I couldn't hit it.
I'm watching it back right now. Oh, I see it. I didn't even realize. It doesn't.
I
literally put my reticle right over it and didn't even realize that that's what it was.
Here's the reason why that didn't happen for me. I was too busy. I had the handgun with the short barrel on it, and because it's
I wonder if you can punch it.
A small little elevator, I was just rotating the camera, and it was just Vincent holding up the gun, so it looked like the Bugs Bunny, Lord forgive me, but I'm about to go back to the old me meme. So I was just doing that and saying that to chat as I completely missed it for the sake of shit posting.
So once we get to the very top of the elevator, the elevator doors open, and then we are kind of like assaulted by a bunch of Roombas and some missile guys. Right?
Yeah,
we just call them Roombas. What the fuck are these enemies? Like,
they're called red saucers. I just told you.
Yeah, red saucers
right.
or
or sentry robots. They're also the tutorial robot if you play the tutorial.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's kind of interesting because you can stay on the elevator and the red saucers cannot get to you. Then the missiles can, but the red saucers cannot.
Yeah, again, bad news for the WRO members that you're supposed to be supporting, but good news for you because who cares?
Yeah, I think it's just those for this stretch right here, right?
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
we come through a little round tunnel. We see one last shop, or is it
one next to last shop? Very oddly,
before this big room, which I think is implied that we're like kind of like on the edge of like the top plate.
Yeah, I think so.
And Curse he saw the door open and immediately sees the approaching boss in the next room, which
yeah. So there's like 3 doors here, and there's the shop, and I walked kind of close to one of the doors, and it just opened for just a moment and then closed. And in the like split second that it was open, I saw the boss we were getting ready to fight, and I was like, oh, okay, well, hopefully they didn't see me.
I was about to ask why they wouldn't want like the boss fight to trigger just as soon as you open the door, but it's good it doesn't, because there is like a memory capsule in this area that you will not be able to access again after this fight is over.
Yeah, I was able to get it.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I even saw that.
I guess you could get it during the fight if you really want to, and like risk that.
If you're just really feeling fucking sicko mode.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I got that one or not, but I did have a little bit of downtime in this boss fight where I was just kind of running around and taking cover and trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Well, this boss is Rosso, finally. We're finally going to fight her.
Yeah.
And she is standing very, very epically, right? Like next to this, not a window, but just an opening out into the air. And the boss doesn't trigger until you actually get close to her. So you can just kind of run around her in like a 15-foot radius and just go to all the different corners of the room and get the memory capsule and go with the items. And her character model's just looking at the door where you came into the room at the entire time. So I like snuck around behind her and was like shooting her for funs and stuff. Like,
yeah, you're definitely just shooting her. Apparently you can use like the thunder materia to farm some EXP.
Yeah.
Like before the fight starts.
Yeah.
That's really silly.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I think, I guess if you haven't played this, if you don't want to like stop at the shop, because there is a shop in this boss room with us if you want to like stock up mid-fight. But if you wanted to like just collect all the loot in the room before you decided if you need to buy anything, that would be a cool thing to do. But yeah, Rosso's here.
I love this arena, by the way, that we're going to fight her in.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's, I feel like the most interesting because so far we've mostly fought people in very square rooms, and this is a very kind of round room.
Yeah, I am.
Because we're at the center of the pillar, I'm guessing.
So, like, when we come out the door, we're facing Rosso, and behind her is just open air, right? Kind of like you're saying, maybe we're at the edge of the plate or something like that, or just some kind of drop off. But behind her is the moon, but it's like completely covered by like fire and haze and like smoke, right? So it's
mist, very
cinematic.
This is the most Castlevania-esque looking boss fight I think so far, because we have like two gothically dressed pretty people in red, with the most full ass moon possible.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. I like this. Like this boss arena really indulges in the stupidness of like these characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, cyberpunk vampires.
It rules.
But once you trigger the fight, there's a little cutscene where Rosso says,
still alive, I see. And you call yourself human?
And Vincent tries to like slap back at her.
We do see a pile of dead WRO members too. Like
we do.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It pans up.
She's got one move and it's killing every single WRO member that she can find.
It'd be funny if it was like fucking Metal Gear Solid 3, like it's just all the bodies of people you failed to save or whatever.
Oh yeah, that would be really good. But yeah, Vincent tries to like slap back at her. He tries to clap back and says, more human than you. And she's like, more human than I, and then laughs and she's like, tell me something I don't already know, darling. Yeah, I'm a Sviet. I traded away my human weaknesses for power long ago. It's the path I've chosen and the path I'll tread.
Till I've sucked all life from this pitiful world. And I'm not going to let you get in the way. You've lived long enough, Vincent Valentine.
And I'll make sure you don't come back this time by slicing you into pieces.
Into Pico.
And then we fight her, and the first phase of Rosso's not bad.
No,
she's not that rough.
She does lots of gun stuff, right? And she's very fast. She's not as fast as Shulk, where she like kind of teleports, but she's very very quick and hits hard.
She's very quick. Yeah, there was a couple times I lost. Like I didn't know where she had gone because she's so fast.
Yeah, so she's really fast, and if you get close to her to try and melee attack her, she will just fucking destroy you with her like
it's
sword
so hard
thing.
to make. You can't really melee her. I even tried Limit Breaker on her, especially the second form, and it's just not worth it. She's so much faster than you.
You hit her a little bit, I think, with melee attacks, like once, but it was like after she had hit you 10 times and knocked you over. So it's definitely not worth even going for melee attacks.
Yeah, so she does blade/combo, which is 110 damage. Her machine gun fire will do 72, which she does mostly. I feel like it's smart to kind of keep like a mid distance from her because
I think so.
Later on, she will do like kind of a projectile attack. I think when she's down 20% of her health, she'll do a quick little transformation sequence, right?
Yeah.
Not only transformation, it just kind of just gets more mad.
Yeah. So once you take off a certain amount of health, she goes into her second phase where she does more combos on you.
Do you know why they call me the Crimson, darling? Let me show you.
I was like, damn, I could never guess.
Her melee starts coming out more if you're close to her.
Turning Red, now streaming on Disney Plus.
And she also starts throwing her like bladed weapon, and it curves around things. So like this arena has a lot of like those little almost generators or power stations in the middle of it that you can use to hide from her fire, and she can use to hide from your fire. but her weapon curves, so it'll actually curve around these to hit you. So you have to like maintain a like close proximity to them to be able to get out of the range of that attack.
Yeah, her boomerang fire. Apparently the guide says you if you're tricky enough, you can actually dodge them by running towards where they're coming from, because they won't be able to like bend back fast enough. So you can actually kind of duck under them.
Interesting.
I was able to dodge some, but I felt
because if you go far away from it, it'll be able to correct its like trajectory pretty well. But if you go towards it, it'll like not be able to hit you properly.
You did better than I did, Curtis, when you were trying to dodge them, because the first couple didn't hit you. I think
the first couple
didn't. Yeah, with me, I immediately started getting hit, and I was like, okay, let me think of what I can do to avoid this. And I tried taking cover, and like just the way I didn't take cover fast enough, so it kind of went through a thing and hit me. And I was also like, okay, I know that I can like deflect stuff with a melee attack. If I time it correctly, you can kind of like parry. I was like, maybe I have to parry it back to her. No, does not. Maybe it works. If it does, it's way too hard and not worth it.
You can't do the Gwen parry on Rosso.
I was trying so many different things. I was trying to like dodge roll. I was trying to do all kinds of things. Was getting fucking destroyed.
The little square button like dash. I tried doing that and it didn't work for me.
Yeah, that doesn't work at all. And then I was like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. And then I was like, there's nothing else I can do. And then I was like, wow, I'm so dumb. I wonder if only there was some other function I have in this shooting game that I had to do in this boss fight. And then like I saw it coming to me, I'm like, yeah, check this out. And I tried shooting it, and shooting it did nothing, and it just hit me. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it's rough. Well, I think that like Alex,
I guess it's just cover.
Yeah, I think you're right in that it's best to keep that mid distance and just plug away at her. I mean, like the longer you're in this fight, the worse it's gonna go. So the left side of the room, like once you walk in, the side on your left has a lot of debris that's easy to walk around that I found was where I was doing the best at.
Yeah, the shipping containers on the right side are a little too clunky to kind of effectively hide around, because you kind of find yourself just like really too tight.
Yeah, agreed.
You find yourself living in a shotgun shack if you're on that side of it. She has an attack that's very similar to False King Alant, like the final boss of Demon Souls, where he just shoots a fucking beam at you and it's like really hard to dodge.
Oh yeah, the ground projectile, I think it's
it sucks. It's real rough.
That's after she's about half health. She'll switch to that as well.
This is also, she has a name change here when you start fighting in this phase, and it's Bloodburst Rosso, which is pretty fucking cool.
I like that. She's tough though. It's a tough boss.
She is tough. Luckily, if you play on normal mode in the North American release, you can just at any time just hit up that jukebox. She will stop attacking. The game will be paused, and you're just, selecting Street Fighting Man from the jukebox so that you can really amp yourself up. But then you accidentally put on If You Like Pina Colada, and you still get your ass kicked anyway and thrown out a plate glass window.
A lot of Fonzie themes in this episode. Where you just like you just punch things to fix it, or you just like, I'm gonna hit up this jukebox real quick.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey. Anytime I think of Fonzie now, I just think of Clerks, the animated series, where they are talking about Happy Days episodes and they just keep talking about the Fonz. And they only have one voice sample of someone doing a Fonzie impersonation, and it's just, hey! It's like, hey, remember that time the Fonz jumped over all those trash cans at Arnold's? And it's just, hey! Or what about the time Fonzie jumped over the shark? Hey! It's so funny.
So good.
It was a good show.
But yeah, so once we finally beat her, and like I said, it's tough.
It's a tough fight, yeah. We were asking the speedrunners like what the ideal thing to do is, and they were like, literally just chain enough to get one shot to kill, because this is a rough fight.
Yeah,
it's a doozy.
But once you beat her, she's kind of like taken aback. She can't believe that there's somebody who's stronger than she is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pissed.
She's fucking pissed. She says the word absurd multiple times. She's like, it's absurd. It's absurd.
I wish her accent got thicker and more ridiculous each time she said it. Absurd. Absurd. Absurd.
And then what I thought was getting ready to be the coolest shit ever happened. And then it became cool, but not as cool as what I thought was going to happen. So she kind of like chills out. Like after she gets all frustrated, she kind of just like lets all the energy go, and she goes...
Our time here together is done, but the mighty Azul awaits.
And she starts to walk away, and
she
at that point,
hops over to like a little like wall on the edge.
I thought that she was just gonna walk away and be like, "Yeah, fuck this. I ain't paid enough. I'm hitting the bricks." And I was like, that would be the coolest shit of all time if she was just like, yo, fuck this. I can't believe somebody's stronger than me. This shit sucks. I'm going home. And just like left and was like, I don't even care about this shit anymore. This is stupid. Because like she says that like she doesn't care about the planet shit. She just does what Weiss tells her and like whatever, right? She's like told us that.
Yeah, she just loves killing and she wants to do whatever Weiss says.
Exactly. She just loves killing. And as soon as she finds out that she's not the best at killing, I was like, that would be hilarious if she just becomes like disillusioned by it. And it's like, well, I don't even care about this shit anymore. It's stupid. And like
she just
left.
goes and starts a bakery or something.
Yeah. I was like,
specializing in red velvet cookies.
She just shows up in Remake later, like with absolutely no fanfare. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, just making the best out of it.
Just walking around in Midgar.
And I thought that's what they were getting ready to do, and it didn't happen. And I was kind of disappointed, but it's still cool, though. It's still cool.
Yeah, she says that I shall not grant you the pleasure of killing Rosso the Crimson. No one will ever stand above me. And then she like gets like energy beam hand magic or something.
As you do when you get real pissed, you get energy beam hand.
Yeah, so she starts destructo disking from Dragon Ball Z all of the like the edge of the the floor. I can't think of a good
she's like
coherent
she's standing
word. She's on the
precipice of this area.
She's about to break.
Standing on the edge.
So this area, like we were saying, is kind of like open air. It's exposed to the outside, and behind the fight the whole time is this just giant drop off from the plate all the way back down to the ground, right?
Yeah.
And she goes and stands on the precipice of that. So she's right next to the giant drop off. And then, like you said, she starts just destructo disking the ground. Yeah,
into a perfect fucking square.
Yeah, a perfect
which is impressive.
Cube. Yeah,
nice cube. And then she just kind of, she just starts falling.
This does feel like another scene where they just kind of like, maybe we're rushing because they didn't give her a fall animation because we like get like a quick pan up of Vincent seeing her fall. And then we fade to her just like standing there on like a flat platform, just like laughing maniacally. Like you don't actually like see her falling like
she falls to her doom.
It just seems like, oh, she's just taking like an elevator down or whatever.
Yeah.
And to me, I was saying on the stream, it reminded me like, oh, and then it just turns into the first level of Bayonetta where you're just like fighting on on a giant clock for like forever.
I will say that I do like the final shot of Rosso. I thought that was pretty good, where like she's falling down on that like sliced cube, and you see like the smoky moon behind her, and I was like, all right, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good send off.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of neat because that was like we've in the story fought her 3 times, but this is actually the first time we finally fought her. So I was like, damn, finally! Like it's like we met her in chapter 2, I think. Like it's been a long time.
I would have preferred more of like a Die Hard death though, where
Vincent just fucking fills her full of holes. Okay.
No, I mean Alan Rickman is like falling.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was pretty sick. But yeah, that's the end of that chapter, and then we get our stage results screen where we all did super good, and all of us got S ranks and didn't fuck up at all.
Absolute Chad shit, yes.
Definitely didn't get 37% accuracy and almost 25,000 damage sustained. Nope, couldn't be me.
That's what you get for using a turret, man. That's a waste of accuracy.
Yeah, I could have. At least I collected 100% of the Mako. That's all that really matters.
Never miss.
Let's see what
kill
I got
chains.
here.
I had 57 on a kill chain, which is somehow only a B.
Good and better.
Getting better.
All right, what did I get? I got an A. I got 100% of the Mako again. That's mostly the thing I'm caring about the most right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't. I got hit by one of the aerial mines. I didn't assist any of the WRO members. So all the WRO members are dead that I came into contact with in this episode.
Yeah, I assisted one of the WRO members, I guess after the deactivation portion of it somehow. Since it was my second try with the aerial mines, I avoided all of them. And the robot assault units, I did not destroy any of those. But the sentries, I did kill all 10 of the sentries, so that's pretty good.
I would like to ask, does anybody remember where we got the toy gun? And have we talked about the toy gun yet?
I think it was in the level with the little boy, if I remember correctly. I have done nothing with it, but yeah, the model gun.
I'm going to look it up here.
Silver model gun.
Well, I think it's just the model gun at
Okay,
first.
well, you can get the silver model gun at this point, though.
Yeah,
I was going to say, all of a sudden, we're able to... So we've had this... wasn't it literally called toy gun in our menu?
I think it's called model gun.
Was it model gun? Okay. We've had a fake gun in our inventory this whole time that has like attack power of 1.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden in this chapter we can now in the shop upgrade it, right, to silver model gun, which gives it 2 strength. And then if you do that, you can upgrade it again for like $50,000 or some shit to a gold model gun that has 3 strength. And so I have been upgrading it every time now because I'm like, I've played video games before. Something fucking ridiculous is going to happen if I upgrade this all the way. Even if that means it gets all the way and it has like 4 power and that's it, and that's the final one, that will just be hilarious.
That would be a
it's worth to
satisfying
do
payoff for sure.
It would be a satisfying payoff because it'll be funny as shit when it happens. But I have started putting all of my money into that, to the exclusion of all of my other guns. So I can like upgrade my other guns, and I'm like, no, I won't. I must upgrade this.
I gotta look this up now.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I'll tell you.
I want to see in real time either Curtis do it or try it myself. I don't know if I'll have the gil for that, but maybe I'll go back.
I'm going to say, if I don't have
something.
it by the end of like chapter 10, I'm gonna just do that chapter over and over until I get the money for it.
You know what I might do is I might just go back and see like one of the older chapters that I like kind of fucked up on, and don't dump anything in experience, only dump it into gil so that I can just go and upgrade that instead.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But that's a thing now as well. So but yeah, that's essentially the end of this chapter. Do we want to talk about the next scene, or should we leave that
I
for
would
next
say
time?
Maybe leave the next scene for next time, just because it kind of
It might be good for next time.
Yeah,
thematically.
If that's cool with you guys.
I think so. It probably makes more sense thematically to do it next time.
Yeah, Rosso owning herself is a pretty good spot to leave it. I think.
Yeah, you're right. That is a pretty good way to end it. So yeah, Rosso
the unownable.
The unownable.
She is only capable of the self-own.
That's right.
Not to be confused with Vincent's sick cell phone.
I never realized those things sound similar. Anyway, yeah, that's chapter 8. 8.
I think it's chapter 8. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Our first chapter, only chapter, who knows, not me, with 2 different like chapter endings.
Yeah, it was very confusing for me when I
screens.
was playing it on stream. I think I originally called it chapter 7 for some reason, then I was like, oh well, I did chapter 8 off screen, so now this is chapter 9. And then I think Swanzig was in my chat and was like, isn't this chapter 8? I'm like, I don't know, I'm bad at this.
It's not that you're bad at it, the game is bad at telling you.
It's true. It's true, but I'm also bad at playing the game, so.
Well, 2 wrongs make a right.
Yes.
I'm trying to find when you can upgrade the gold gun again.
You trying to find?
Yeah, I like that when Curtis was upgrading the model gun to the silver model gun, he saw that the next path was gold gun, and he's like, yeah, I've played a video game or 2 before.
Yeah.
I know what a gold gun can do. A golden gun.
I think you might be able to upgrade it in...
Get the death penalty. Does it become the death penalty? Don't tell me.
Yeah, I would like to not.
I just remember that was his final weapon. That's all I got. You guys got any additional things to say?
No, next time my PS3 is running shitty and not handling the game well, which has never happened, but in case it does, I'm just gonna start elbowing it until it works.
You guys got any announcements?
No.
The only thing I can think of, I think I mentioned before that my fiance Frostwad on Twitch has been streaming, and friend of the show Sweet Matter has made her incredible emotes, because Sweet Matter is extremely, extremely kind. So everyone should go and follow Frostwad and watch her stream, because they're super fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. It always makes me happy to see any of y'all streaming.
Yes.
I'll get back to it soon once I beat Elden Ring.
Curse has been streaming a lot of Baba Is You.
I love Baba Is You. It's the best game ever made. But I have completed my first speed run, my first real speed run of Oracle Seasons, so I'm going to continue on with the Oracle speed runs, so come watch those on twitch.tv/twirlingcurtis. I'm not very good at it yet. The world record's like 1 hour 30, and mine are at like 2 hours 30. So a lot shorter than normal RPG speedruns, though. So
yeah, it's been really fun watching you speedrun that. I love those games so much.
I've finally I did my first good run. I was like, I don't care what time I get. I'm just not going to be tilted no matter what. I'm not going to be upset. And it was my best time yet. And I was like, I've now reached Zen. I know how to speedrun without becoming angry. I'm good.
That is what it's all about.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Alex, would you like to avoid the aerial mines?
I would hate to. Thank you, Masashi Amauzu, for the game music. A lot of cool stuff this episode. I guess every episode. He's good. There's like a lot of themes lately that I've been noticing. Like, oh yes, this reminds me of Final Fantasy X.
You know, I will say, I think the thing that our podcast has done the most for me is make me really appreciate Masashi Hamauzu specifically as a composer.
Yeah, it's like very different than Nobuo, but like I've started to pick up on some of his signatures.
Yeah, yeah.
Bit. It's like okay, I can see like where this like what he did in like Final Fantasy X, that kind of.
I agree.
That carries over here. Some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really fucking good. I'm excited to go back and just re-listen to all of the music in this soundtrack because I feel like I'm not getting the full experience while playing it and doing the homework, and I'm excited to re-listen to it.
Also, so much of it, like I downloaded the actual like official like 2-disc like soundtrack, and it doesn't cover everything that's in this game. Like there's so much like very specific incidental because they wanted to kind of treat it like a movie, so every cutscene almost has its own track to it.
Yeah,
and every fight.
I don't want to like go too long on this or anything, but I will say that like I don't know that this is a fair thing to say that this is really how it was, but I mean maybe Masashi Hamauzu was coming in like underneath the shadow of Nobuo Uematsu, right? Because like Nobuo's the man, and like I could imagine that being an incredibly stressful place to be, to try to like compete. I mean, not really compete. Like that's what I mean. Like,
you don't want to.
It's probably not fair. They're not competing, but he is trying to
kind of learn to complement each other.
Yeah, and he's trying to like leave his own mark on like a series that by this point has already been established as like
has been defined
one of the
by,
largest. Yeah.
By a legend.
I love that one of the ways in which he does that is by not trying to copy Nobuo.
Yeah,
but putting his own style on it. He's like, no, this is what I do, and this is how it's going to sound. And so, like, at very first, I think, for me, hearing some of the 10 tracks and then moving onward, I was like, oh, well, this is different. I don't know. And now I'm like, oh, no, I love it. I love that he just unapologetically is his own thing. And
yeah, I feel really like there's no other way, you know, like if it was.
I've been meaning to like listen carefully, but there are like some very like kind of like winks to the like listener, like, oh, this is like he just quickly quoted like the Shinra like theme in this like orchestral piece instead of like, oh, like there it is, like real it's still here, like the DNA is still there under the surface.
It's fantastic. Cool. He's a fantastic composer.
Good job, buddy.
We're proud of you.
Leave us a review on iTunes. Leave the soundtrack review on iTunes. Who really fucking cares? Rate us on Spotify. You can text us or leave us a message at 530-MATERIA. You can find us at EveryFNFF on Twitter, Instagram, and join our Discord. And I'm Miss Fiat. I traded away my human weaknesses for podcasts long ago.
All right, goodbye.
See ya.
So long.